stadiums that had been promised in the past have stalled because they have no funds, including 2 of my stadiums in Eldoret, Mr. Speaker. They have become a white elephant. Kamarij one in Elgeyo Marakwet, which is very well known to Professor Wundo. Mr. Speaker, this fund will sort out this particular problem, Mr. Speaker, that we have been witnessing in this country. We start stadiums and then we have no money. We are allocating them through Exchequer. And you know Exchequer is competing with everybody, Mr. Speaker. We are competing for Exchequer with everybody. With the sports people, education, which is extremely very important. As you know, education at the moment is swallowing the largest bit of our budget, 700 billion, Mr. Speaker, of revenue which we collect about 2.6 trillion. Mr. Speaker, this particular fund will assist this country to sort out those problems, that intermittent problems that we have seen occurring from time to time. The intention of this particular fund, Mr. Speaker, is also to strengthen operational definitions and institutional roles. It will also provide clarity on the administration, management, and utilization of the fund. The overall purpose of the fund remains to support, Mr. Speaker, the development and promotion of sports and arts, programs that foster social development, including universal health, Mr. Speaker. As you know, our sports people,
proceed, Honorable.
We must ensure that our sports people are healthy and they are provided with sufficient facilities, like, for instance, physiotherapists, Mr. Speaker. This bill, this fund, Mr. Speaker, will foot the bill to provide physiotherapy facilities for sports people. You know, people just run and they just come and sit, Mr. Speaker. If you look at those ones who run, athletes in international other countries, Mr. Speaker, they run, and when they are resting, you have a physiotherapy straightening the muscles that have been injured, Mr. Speaker. This will ensure that we are very competitive sports people. Mr. Speaker, as you know, sometimes we have a problem in terms of the sports people managing themselves. And I have one case in point, the late Kelvin Kiptum. You know, if this fund had been properly operationalized, this gentleman would not have been drinking, and his coach drinking, and himself is driving a drunk coach, and himself is drunk. Mr. Speaker, how would they not lose control? These are people who should have been kept in some secluded area. You have a coach
protected.
Protected area, Mr. Speaker.
From themselves?
Yes, from themselves. They can injure themselves. They lack self-control. It's because they have too much money. This is a gentleman who would have seen running sub 2 hours in marathon, because he had already run 2 hours and 35 seconds, Mr. Speaker. In fact, he just ran, it was just like a walk in the park. If we had allowed him to run, one of the functions of this sports fund is also to establish gyms for sports people. And you know, Mr. Speaker, you know, most of the sportsmen, they just run. They do what we call body toning. They don't do muscle strengthening. And they need those facilities, Mr. Speaker. This fund is dedicated to help the sports people so that when they are running, they are almost finishing, Mr. Speaker. You know, they have the last kick. You know, most of them, they run when they have seen the tape here, they have no last kick. And then you see an Ethiopian just passing them, because they have better facilities than ourselves. This fund will ensure that those facilities are provided, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I don't want to say too much on this particular fund because it is fairly straightforward. It is something that is going to be useful to this country. And so, Mr. Speaker, I request the House that, pursuant to Section 24(4) of the Public Finance Management Act, CAP 412, the committee recommends that this House approves the Public Finance Management, Sports, Arts, and Social Development Fund Amendment Regulation 2025, Legal Notice number 106 of 2025 in its entirety, Mr. Speaker. And with those remarks, Mr. Speaker, I beg to move and request the Honorable Mwalio to second.
Mwalio.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second the consideration of the Public Finance Management, Sports, Arts, and Social Development Fund Amendment Regulation 25. And before I do that, I would like to commend the committee for coming up with this regulation and be able to have thought about our sports people and even our academies. You remember that sometimes back we used even to have teams that are invited to go and play outside, and there is no money even for travel, there is no money for expenses, and they sometimes miss, and also the morale goes down because they are struggling to get money, no facilities, no good uniform, and this fund will be able to do much, especially as our sports department is concerned. And also we can see that there are sports academies now that are coming up in our constituencies. This fund is going to help our young people who in their secondary school in the early age, they are able to train and become good sports people, be able to earn their living. If you compare with the other countries, these people are taken care of and they don't do anything else. They do training from morning to evening, and then they become good sports people, they become good footballers, they become very well trained, and even they earn their living from that. So this fund is most welcome, and I think that we are going to pass it to be able to help our country to grow sports, because we should grow our sports the way we are growing our education. We have so many universities coming up. We have so many tippets in every constituency. We should also have the academies in every constituency so that the young people that are talented can be able even to go for sporting. If they are unable to achieve much, to excel in education, in the books, they can also excel in sports. And therefore, it's a welcome idea, and also it's a way of getting our young people an alternative from the books. So, but with those few remarks, I second.
Honorable members, I now propose the question. That this House adopts the report of the Committee on Delegated Legislation on its consideration of the Public Finance Management, Sports, Arts, and Social Development Fund Amendment Regulations of the year 2025, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, the 26th of November, the year 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 24, subsection 4 of the Public Finance Management Act, Cap 412A. This House approves the Public Finance Management, Sports, Arts, and Social Development Fund Amendment Regulations, published as Legal Notice number 106 of 2025. Yes, Oundo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. In my young days, I used to be a very active sports person until I fractured my foot in old age. I no longer want to get across anywhere because I fear further injuries. But let me also, Honorable Speaker, join the committee in supporting the recommendation to approve the Sports Public Finance Management, Sports, Arts, and Social Development Fund Amendment Regulations, published as Legal Notice number 106 of 2025. And Honorable Speaker, we must be our country, Kenya, has been known and its fame has spread all over the world because of sports, specifically athletics. And at any given time, Honorable Speaker, if there is anything that brings people of Kenya together, regardless of their political divide, primitive tribal association, is the sports. Many of us feel very proud when we see the Chebetis, we see the Obiris crossing the tape with the hands raised up, and you can see the color of the national, in their uniform, the colors of the national flag. when they run the lap of honor with that Kenyan flag, it gives many of us a lot of pride. Whenever I travel all over the world, Honorable Speaker, they will always talk about Kipchoge Keino, they'll talk about who and who, these famed athletes. It is important, Honorable Speaker, any opportunity that is available to provide or strengthen funding for sporting activities must always be supported at all times. Honorable Speaker, I know this Sports, Arts and Social Development Fund, that's where funds also to pay indigent and afford universal health care comes from. So, Honorable Speaker, I do hope and pray the amendments that have been presented or that are being presented here on the same fund goes further to strengthen the operations and management of the fund. Honorable Speaker, Kenya has had some very old and dilapidated sporting facilities. I think the last major sports stadium to be built was Kasarani. And I remember some of the earlier matches. I remember very well the match between Harambee Stars and Nigeria. I think it was African Cup Confederation qualifier. Those are some of the days now Kasarani came into effect. But Honorable Speaker, and I want this as members of Parliament and the public to have this debate. We have taken an antagonistic approach. We have taken a belligerent approach. We have taken a confrontational approach about securitization. Honorable Speaker, we might want to argue in many ways we want to look at it. But truth be told, both from literature and practice, securitization is a loan. Securitization is a debt because all you are simply doing is that you are capitalizing your future income to get a lump sum for today to undertake an event and commit that future income stream to service the amount. In the event that income stream fails to materialize, it means the consolidated fund will be required to pay to service that commitment. So there is no other argument. It must be subsumed in politics. We might want to do all that we can to do, but securitization, like it or not, is a loan, and once it's a loan in terms of public resources, that becomes a public debt. We might refuse to enter into the schedule of public debt, but that remains a fact, undeniable fact, both from literature and practice, that that's a debt, that's a loan that you commit, a fixed income, a ring-fenced income, supposedly hoping the income will proceed and remain there forever. In the event of any eventuality that income is not forthcoming, it means then you have to look for an alternative source to service that particular loan. And in terms of public funds, where is that? That's the exchequer through the consolidated fund. But nevertheless, once we have it, once we have Talanta Stadium, we have all of it, what we have, let's deal with the problem. Let's burden the future generation to deal with the problem while the current generation, led by Honorable Chepkonga, will have exited and left the not seconded. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I second, but I simply want to go on record, securitization is a loan, and a loan in public finance is a public debt. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yeah, I mean, those of us who were here and still have a memory of the 60s and the 70s would not forgive Kenyans for failing to remember the real stars of the 60s. You say Kipchoge Keino. There was Ben Chipcho. What was Ben Chipcho? There was Wilson Kiprugut. There was Naftali Temu. And there was an Amos Biwott. These are the people who put us on the map those early days. I'm talking about the 60s. Yes, yes. No, even 64. I was going through Standard 1 in 1964. Yes, give him the mic.
Honorable Speaker, the first Kenyan to win a gold medal in boxing was Wangila, who came from Funyula constituency.
Absolutely.
Who was a cousin of my grandmother. So I want to warn Honorable Chepkonga.
Wangila even had a big issue because he had converted to Islam.
Yes,
And you wanted to bury him your traditional ways. And we went to court
yes,
and managed to bury him in the Islamic way.
yes. But that cannot deny the fact that he came from Funyula constituency
Yes.
and was a cousin
Yes.
of my late grandmother. So I just want to bring to attention to Honorable Chepkonga.
Yes.
Any day he annoys me beyond, and I cannot hold myself,
Yes.
he needs to look where my hands is coming from, because one punch is down. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
You- For the people who have put us on the map. Naftali Temu, if I remember, my memory serves me very well, ran barefoot and gave us a gold medal. So we need, and if you don't remember, a country that does not know its history, does not know its future. If you don't know where you came from, you'll have a problem knowing where you're going. Thank you. And now that there seems to be having the support of everybody, I think the mover should be called upon to reply.
Yeah, I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we remember as a country with nostalgia the quartet of Naftali Temu of the Olympics of Munich Olympics, where Kenya won for the first time a gold medal in 4x400. Mr. Speaker, the last person to pick the battle was almost the last person in the field. And he ran and outsprint the rest who were ahead of him.
That was which year?
That was 1964, Mr. Speaker.
There you go.
Yes, when we were in Standard 1.
And where were you that time?
No, I was still a toddler.
Are you sure?
Yes, I was. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, in fact,
Are you sure your mother and father had not even met?
No, absolutely, Mr. Speaker. You know the age between me and you is not very far. It's just that I've remained young. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the members who have contributed and just to thank the sports people who have done immense work in putting the image of Kenya at beyond what people would do in the ordinary circumstances, Mr. Speaker. When you see someone running in a field, Mr. Speaker, some of us who are watching and when it is live, the adrenaline, which is also running with them, Mr. Speaker, when we want to go and sleep, the sleep is disappeared because the adrenaline was faster than the blood, Mr. Speaker, because of what we have been seeing in the screen. And so, Mr. Speaker, we want to commend our sports people for having done this country proud, and particularly those who have won gold medals, silver medals, bronze medals, and those who have attempted, Mr. Speaker. You know, I remember the marathon runner from Tanzania. He ran and he continued running, and he was the last one. When he finished, he was asked, why did you continue running and you were completely last? You had been outsprinted by everybody. And he said, my country did not send me to win. My country sent me to finish. Mr. Speaker, that is called sports. That's called sports. And that's the reason why we're supporting the sports fund, Mr. Speaker, that it be established urgently and be recalibrated for purposes of ensuring that funds are used in a manner that will benefit our sports people and this nation. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I beg to reply.
Undo takes a lot of pleasure in boxing and I think soccer. I'm sure you only remember Joe Kadenge. You don't remember J.J. Masiga? And Kadiri Farah? No, do you remember Kadiri Farah? Yes. Okay, thank you. Onda says that J.J. Masiga also came from Bumula constituency, so Bumula must be celebrated. Honorable members, and I put the question. This House adopts the report of the Committee on Delegated Legislation on its consideration of the Public Finance Management, Sports, Arts, and Social Development Fund Amendment Regulations of the year 2025, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, the 26th of November, the year 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 24(4) of the Public Finance Management Act, Cap 412A. This House approves the Public Finance Management Sports, Arts, and Social Development Fund Amendment Regulations published as legal notice number 106 of the year 2025. Will as many of the opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order. Yes, what's your point of order, Honorable Okwom?
Sir,
MP for Karachonyo, am I right?
you are totally right.
Yeah, proceed. I knew
Yes.
when the Karachonyo MP was some other name, but I'll tell you. Go, proceed.
Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order number 35, Mr. Speaker, I rise to inform you that there is no quorum for any further business to be transacted properly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. My memory serves me very well. Phoebe Asio was also a member of Parliament for Karachonyo. Am I right? Yeah, we served with her in the 7th Parliament. Honorable members, I will now direct that the bell, the quorum bell be rung for 10 minutes. Order, honorable members, order. Honorable members, there being no quorum, and the time being 17:52 p.m. or 5:52. This House stands adjourned until Tuesday, the 2nd of December, the year 2025, at 2:30 p.m.